Hello, how you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Well, I got a video dressing men and women, particularly black men and black women. No offense to anybody else, but I found out this video was pretty powerful in what this woman is saying. So for other people, maybe they just sit back and watch, but this is for black men and black women only at this time.
I'm posing this question to my black women in particular. I would like to ask you all, why are we black women are so comfortable, so willing, so encouraging of ourselves and others who emasculate our black men? Why do we feel it's necessary to always want to showcase to the world how inferior or dishonorable our black men are? I asked this question because of a recent video I came across of a well-known content creator who has built her following by basically creating videos to show the world how magnificent and amazing and wonderful and spectacular her life is now that she has left her black man, the father of her two black boys, to marry a white tea man and allow him to father her two black boys. This woman has, over the years, let the world know that black women would be much happier if they were to leave their black man, as she did, and marry a white tea man. The same white tea man whose ancestors raped us and murdered us and sold us and our children straight out the womb. The same white tea man who has kept his neck on our brothers' necks, literally, for centuries. As black women, are we not concerned or interested or even have any compassion over the way our black men are treated in this society? How they are consistently, perpetually shot at and murdered by our oppressors? How our black men are found hanging off of bridges and trees? How our black men and boys are found in lakes and rivers and rolled up in mats, even in high schools, dead with their organs missing? Are we not concerned about the systems that are set up against our black man to make sure that he is either drugged out or that he is simply burnt out, dealing with mental illnesses, dealing with the inferior nature of the world that he was brought into on slave ships? As black women, do we not care or take notice that all the systems that be have an agenda against our men to make sure that they are killed either by them or by themselves? And if not that, they are still in slavery as they get dragged into prisons and jails built exclusively for our black men. I just don't understand how a black woman in 2024 can have any type of ill will against our black man who we have watched suffer by the hands of those who have always hated us. We have watched our black men go through trials and tribulations, not just by the systems, but by us, black women, who have been telling them for decades that they ain't shit, they'll never be shit, we don't need them, we don't want them, they can't do nothing for us, that we could do bad all by our damn selves. How many generations of us black women have told that to our black man as we kick him out our homes, as we tear him away from his family, as we keep his children away from him and treat them as pawns so that we can get coins. You ain't gonna see your child if you don't pay child support. You ain't gonna see your child if you don't give me no money. How? How can we have anything against this black man who has suffered so much? And we compare them to the white tea man. Why? Why do we think that that's something that should be acceptable? Why do we condone that? Why does any other black woman condone another black woman or entertain another black woman who has nothing but negativity to speak upon our black men, the father of our children that we chose to have? Because we live within a society that gives us the choice to murder our babies or not. And when us black women make the choice to choose to give birth to a child that we had with a black man, most times we want to kick that black man to the curb because of something he did or something he won't do. And we're just so comfortable doing that. And then at the same time want to compare him to his oppressor, to those who hate him the most, and then we come right after them. Why do we feel like we could compare our black man to those who hate us? Because that white tea man gives us Section 8 and pay our rent? What, because he gives us food stamps to buy our groceries? What is it? Because we get the public assistance checks to be able to buy our weed and our weeds and our nails. Don't forget the toes and the hands. What, we spending like $200 on nails? We spending up to thousands on hair, and the white tea man is helping us do that because he rules this evil world, and your black man is doing the best that he can to have an income to be able to do what he can to take care of you and all the children that you allow for him to impregnate you with. But he ain't good enough for us to speak goodness upon him, for us to show the world that he is our God. What the hell is wrong with us black women? I need some understanding. Please let me know. Because this is going way too far for this black woman who has dragged the black man, and she dragged the white man when she got upset with him. I guess he didn't give her her way. Because as black women, we always want to get our way, whether it's good or bad. We want what we want. And if we don't get it, we'll find a way to get it. And if that means that we tear down our black man and leave our black man, then that's what our fool asses do. And when we do make those choices, we want to point the finger at them. We should be looking in the mirror.
Do y'all remember this story regarding Machine Carter down in Laurel, Mississippi, Rasheen was down there working with his boss and a couple of other guys. He was found decapitated outside of Laurel, Mississippi, and the police got down there saying there was no foul play, all this stuff, right? This happened back October the 2nd, 2022. And his former boss right here, Stephen Luke Clements, he got up there denying it, saying I ain't doing anything to him. But there's all kinds of evidence. The police chief and the other police sergeant, everybody got suspended without pay because there were a lot of cover-up happening down there, right? A lot of cover-up. And we all know the truth with it. And y'all remember his wife, Stephen Luke Clements' wife, Jessica, right? Well, Jessica allegedly unalived herself. But we know that that is not the truth. You see, Jessica was getting ready to tell on Stephen Luke Clements because people's conscience starts eating them up. And the reason I feel that she did not take her own life is because she just posted on her pages on the book face about upcoming events. She just opened all kinds of new businesses. So there was no reason why she would want to unalive herself. You see, the chickens have come home to roost. Guilt is just like pain. It forces you to feel it. And then pain is just like guilt. It starts making you tell everything. And Jessica, she wasn't about to hide this man's secrets. She wasn't about to cover his nakedness with fig leaves. What's even wilder and deeper is, and it's telling, this is very telling, that his fireworks show was canceled. It was about 20,000 people that were supposed to have been there. But the reason it was canceled is because he was putting it on. Man, oh man. I'll tell you something else. Jessica was all about her looks. She wasn't about to take her life. She was getting ready to tell on him. And he didn't want that to happen. See, this is getting deep, y'all. Let me tell you, the thing about lies, when you tell one, you got to tell 11 million more. See, what they didn't expect was this entire case to get national attention. They didn't expect that. And the word got out that Stephen Lucas Clements was responsible for what happened to Rasheen Carter. If y'all remember, Flo and Shauna, the BNN crew, bought you this story first, exclusive. So what you got today was exclusive news. All right, so if you want to get followed up on...
Yeah, that's what the Rasheen case, but that's on TikTok.
On the entire Rasheen Carter's case, I mean, just get caught up. Go to Flo's page. Go to his page, and you're going to see this series right here.
But yeah, and that's what the woman was talking about, black women. That there are black men getting unalive. And literally his remains. And while you put your men down, this was going on in the country right now.
Until black people learn to prioritize black people and black prosperity over materialism and convenience, slavery will never end. Until black men learn to stop getting online and disrespecting black women, slavery will never end. Until black women learn to stop disrespecting black men, slavery will never end. You cannot bite the hand that protects you. You can go back and forth all day about all the black men. I've been heartbroken by this black man and that black man. A black man has that same story, sister. Okay? I done had my heart broken by plenty of black women. Guess what? I ain't out here blaming all black women for the problems I had with a few of them.
Right.
That don't make sense. That sounds like something that the whites do.
Right.
Do you understand the indoctrination? It happens right here in front of y'all face when a black person, whether woman or man, don't matter, goes through heartbreak or trauma and now generalizes their own entire community because of that trauma. Who does that sound like? These are things that you've learned from the supremacists. These are things that you've been taught to believe about your own community.
Right.
You've been taught to demonize your own community.
Right.
So if you do business with a black-owned business and they happen to mess up, now you're going to classify all black-owned businesses as bad.
Right.
Who does that sound like?
Right.
We have to get out of the teachings of racists.
Right.
We have to start to unlearn the teachings of racists. Black people trying to go to war and beef with Africans? That don't make no sense. You got a clear-cut enemy right in front of your face here domestically, and you want to go to war and talk bad on Africans?
Right.
There's some shit that y'all do that don't make no goddamn sense. Y'all talk bad on Hispanic people, gay people, Africans. You talk about the black men, talk bad on the black women talk bad on the black men, and we wonder why we can't get nowhere. You have been trained to demonize and attack everybody in your own community while ignoring the one group of people that directly benefit from you attacking your own people.
That's true.
You cannot be pro-black. You cannot throw no black fist in the air.
That's true.
You cannot say you are for your people if you are on these social media apps talking bad on black men and you don't want to mention black women, talking bad on black women and you don't want to mention black men. You have to come at it from an unbiased, bigger picture, long-term look of everything, not just what contributes to what you want to be true. I see this so much, so many black pages on every app. Sit up here, you got black women that will demonize a black man. I mean, talk about him like he a dog. Their whole page is dedicated to it. You got black men that do the same thing towards black women. You got black people that will not support a black-owned business, will not go out of their way to support a black-owned business. But every day you contributing to white prosperity. Every day you contributing to that profit margin, that white man's profit margins. And you wonder why we're still here and haven't evolved and moved? You're too busy being a good slave to ever be free. Freedom will never be reality in this community, not in the Hispanic community, not in the Native American community, not in the gay community, not in no community. Freedom will never be reality until you learn to prioritize you and us. You have to learn that you are 100% colonized, 100%, which means that you have thoughts, which means you have habits, which means you have an entire ideology that is anti-black that was taught to you by these people that are in power today. These people are only in power because of your anti-blackness. Until black people learn to prioritize.
So we all have heard the news that Mr. Bill Gates has been touring Africa. Precisely, he has been to Ethiopia and Nigeria. And those of you in...
Hold on. Well, it don't stop right there. I got somebody else that got give you a rundown.
We have to harken back to the great and beautiful actress that Halle Berry, that we all love and appreciate, because she got hit with child support payments by several different non-black men, and now most recently we see the reputation of Miss Tamar Braxton being slaughtered by her white king, and apparently he's been out there licking booty and then coming back and putting his mouth on her, which is, godly, and she's now complaining about her relationship with him, whatnot. Here's the thing I want you lovely ladies to know. Not only are you going to, for you well-to-do ladies, you have to understand that you are a target for these downtrodden white Pookie Kings, and I refer to them as Pookie Kings because many of them are low-level white men. I believe the fella Rachel Lindsay was married to, he holds himself out as a doctor, but in fact he is a chiropractor, which I have great respect for the chiropractic profession, but he is not a brain surgeon in the regards of, or in the fashion of a doctor, a medical doctor. He's a chiropractor, alternative medicine. And, like I said, much respect, but let's not put more on it than what it is. The thing is, and I want to take the opportunity to explain to you something that many of you may have missed, but in this society that we live in, oftentimes white people, however well-meaning, they are subjected to the same indoctrination of superiority that the rest of white folks are inundated with, whether it be through music, television, movies, any sort of entertainment. In addition to that, the educational system tells them that they're superior, and alternatively, it suggests that black people are inferior, and that also relates to relationships. They feel as though they have a superior social position, which they do in this society. Okay, that's why if a white woman alleges that she has been assaulted by a non-black man, you know, she's automatically believed, or any black man, any non-white man, I should say, she's automatically believed because she has a higher social standing. And the other thing that goes along with it is a certain level of entitlement. And so irrespective of the fact that you as a black woman may have earned your money, honestly, oftentimes when you are spending time with people who think they're better than you, who have been taught that they're better than you, they feel as though they're doing you a favor by merely being in your presence. And so that's what you see happening. This white Pookie King, somebody type white king in the chat room, this white Pookie King, this white man of clarity, thought he was doing Tamar Braxton a favor. Same thing with the other young lady who's paying the gentleman $13,000 a month. And they think they're better than you, and they think they're entitled to your money, and they think they're doing you a favor by being in the presence. I think it's not what they think, it's what you ladies think. Okay, now I want you to brace yourselves. This might be offensive, but this may be a truth that you've yet to hear, and that is that your vagina, okay, somebody type vagina in the chat room. We're talking about a biological organ in the body used for sex and reproduction and for many pleasure. The vagina that you have is no different than the billions of vaginas who came before it, and it has not overcome white supremacy, racism, or bigotry, or prejudice. Okay, they will still poke you and still see you as nothing more than a low-level human being. Okay, you think you can overcome racism with your vagina. I promise you that roast beef sandwich, however chocolinated it may be, is not going to change centuries of ingrained systematic racism, nor is it going to change the individual's perception of you. And I know that's what you think. You think you have the all-powerful weapon to overcome all obstacles. All you got to do is put that thing on him and he's just going to change his mind. But that's not how the world works. It's not how the world works. A lot of you women think that you confuse love with sex. And men don't put love and sex in the same corner. They might lust over you. There might be some degree of love. There's definitely an affinity. But at the end of the day, that's not going to change people's strongly held beliefs. No matter how much chocolinated love drop love motion you put in your back, these men are not going to change their perception of you and black people in general, or people of color. And so I think the misnomer and the mistake that a lot of these black American women make is that they think that they confuse love with sex, and they're also confusing sex with, or the fact that a man will have sex with them with the fact that he respects them or sees them as different. He sees you as nothing more than what you are to society. And if you want to know what society thinks about black women or black men or Hispanic men or Hispanic women or Asian, whatever, then just look on the television, you know, listen to the music. This is how society as a whole characterizes you. And if you have a lowly reputation, then you have to expect that that's how the rest of the world perceives you. Now, of course, there are exceptions, and I'm not saying that any of that is true. But what I'm saying is this is a perception. So when you're dealing with this this white king of yours, ladies, that you think is going to lift you out of your lowly position in the racial totem pole and uplift you and bring you into white womanhood and have you feeling like a Becky when in reality you're a Keisha or Maria for that matter, you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. And then at this point, you can't change people like that. And you're just playing yourself. And I'm not just talking about the financial aspect of it. We don't see Halle Berry the same. We don't see Halle Berry as this beautiful queen. She has been soiled and played. Somebody type played in the chat room, right? She's been played because she now has to pay men, white men, that she's not even recycling black dollars. And although she's biracial, even her half black section that is passing all the money to non-black men, which I think personally is a travesty, honestly. But the bottom line is she's been played. So not only is she using money, but she's also losing reputation. We just don't see you the same. You don't have that glossy finish that you used to back in the 1990s, Halle Berry. And Miss Rachel Lindsay, I didn't even know who you were until I realized you were the black woman that has to pay this white chiropractor $13,000 a month. Now, I'm a personal injury lawyer, so I'll pay a lot of chiropractors $13,000 a month in various cases, but at least I get something. And then once I'm through paying, I'm paying. You have to pay every month to a man that is not even married to you anymore, because you thought you were going to escape. You were going to try to white flight like it was 1970s. You was going to take your brown behind on that white airplane, and you was going to white flight away from the black community. But here you are, $13,000 a month broker. You thought you was going to escape your blackness. I guess that's the dream and ambition of a lot of you modern day ladies, because you lovely ladies, because you don't accept the reality of the world that we live in. I spend a lot of time talking to black men, and I often tell them, I say, brothers, it is my preference for you to date women of African descent, especially if you are a black man. And it does not matter to me whether or not she is a Afro-Latina, Afro-Caribbean, West Indian, African from the African continent, South American African, if she biracial African, if she's Black American African, whatever it is.
KPMG and Morehouse School of Medicine joined forces to address health inequity.
Black American African, whatever it is. It's best to stick within your own social, economic, racial category. And the reason is, number one, there's the same level of, how should I say, respect or confidence or reputation. Y'all are equal in that regard as far as society is concerned. And although it may be bad when our lovely ladies accuse us of things or they have entitlement feelings, at least it's not white girl entitlement. Because see, white girls can come in and all they got to do is cry 1 or 2 tears, and you might end up in the poorhouse in a divorce proceeding. Heaven forbid you trying to fight for your children and this white woman says that she's been battered and abused by you. You might get a restraining order against you and have to get out of your own house. Ask white men, they're dealing with the same thing. And so as far as black, it's doubly worse, because when you're a black man and you're dealing with a white woman, they're going to believe that white woman over you. The judge is, the attorneys are, even your own attorney will believe her over you. They're going to think that you are a scumbag, because that's what society in general tells them about black men. You're violent, you're uncouth, all these different stereotypes that we subject to criminality, sexuality, all of that, okay? And it doesn't change when you're dealing with black women. They think you're a floozy. They think you are the 304 of society. They think all you're good for is twerking and giving them a hard time in HR, and that's it. You know, they see you as nothing more than the white man's plaything. And, you know, so when that white fella comes in and says, yeah, I'm a doctor, but I'm only making $14,000 a year and she needs to supplement my income, they just go with that. I mean, the fact that Halle Berry has lost custody of her children And the husbands, the ex-husbands are the primary caregivers. That is just outlandish, because normally it goes the other way. And then we got to fast forward to Tamar Braxton's sister. Beautiful woman, you were married to a handsome black man who was wealthy and successful, and you left that fella for this white king Pookie that you have, who has apparently multiple baby mamas, multiple children, by multiple women. And I know you may like his haircut, but he is still not a black man. He is a white man, and so he's going to have a higher social standing. And so you may have come out and say, yeah, he did this, that, and the other, and he comes right behind you and says, no, I didn't. And the vast majority of people believe him. Even black people believe him. And that's unfortunate. Even though everything you say may be true, they're going to find a reason not to believe you, because that's what society says they're supposed to do. They're supposed to give credit to what he says and not what you say. And so you're suffering what apparently is a new term, divestiture tax. Somebody typed divestiture tax in the chat room. It's a divestiture tax, and it not only takes your money, literally, but it's also taken away from your reputation. You're losing standing in the community. You look like an idiot. And it's one thing I've learned, that the best thing to do when I'm litigating cases is to make opposing counsel look stupid. And if I can make them look stupid, then the judge is not going to hang their robe on what that person is saying. It could be something as small as typographical errors in their briefs, or misstated or misquoted cases that are correct, or them even going so deep as the misinterpretation of cases. At a certain point, the judge is going to say, well, this person is stupid. I don't know either one of y'all. Even if the judge knows opposing counsel, if you point out that they're stupid or they're making too many mistakes, the judge is not going to hang their robe on that. You see? And at this point, a lot of you black female celebrities with your money who used to be held in high regard, you look stupid.
Super September, Alibaba.com.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel, Runaway Slave. I would like to give a big up to all my subs and supporters who like, comment, and share the videos. In addition, a special big up to all those who purchased my masterpiece, my book, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service. Big up to you all. Let's cook.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
She right though, y'all. She is right. She is right about that. So here we go, people. This Ketanji lady, this Ketanji character, Ketanji Brown, she was put in this position as the Supreme Court Justice by the longest reigning white supremacist in American politics, Joe Biden. Some people call him Jim Crow Joe. Absolutely disgusting dude, and disgusting policies towards black people throughout his entire political career. So somebody like that who selects anybody that is not white and put them in a position, they do that for a reason, okay? So this Ketanji was put in this position, and she's been paraded by many black people when she was put in this position, you know, on some black girls rock type stuff. Almost all, you know, I can't even say almost, to the point where black people were jumping in front of her to defend her and her position as a black woman when white supremacists were attacking her. You know, white supremacist conservatives were attacking her with some dumb attacks. You know, that's what these politicians, these people do. That's what these conservatives, these liberals, these American white supremacists. So they were attacking her with some dumb attacks or whatever. It's a snowball fight. But, you know, you had a lot of these Negroes, poor black people, jumping in front, you know, defending this whole Ketanji thing. Oh, this and that. You know, it just looks really disgusting when you see black people trying to defend rich, black, propped up Negroes or coconut, you know, black cracker types who were put in these positions by white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? These type of black people who would actually select or pick or favor the same white people who may be attacking them over these black people who are so much adoring them. It's a real sick American thing, you know what I'm saying? I call it a snowball fight, whatever. I wouldn't care if the person was black or whatever, or brown. They're being attacked by white supremacists. Okay, well, this person's position, they're in position as a white supremacist, contrary to what color they may be, you know, but they like to sell that to people. People get caught up in it. It is a part of personality worship in America. So, listen, this Ketanji, right? She's married to this white man named Patrick. So me personally, you know, I don't really care much or pay Ketanji much attention. I know what she is. I know what she's there for. She's pretty quiet. She's pretty quiet. The white dude, Patrick, he is too. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? She has the right to do what she wants to do with her life. She has the right to marry who she wants, practice whatever she wants to practice or whatever. But there was a clip that was sent to me where this media outlet is doing this white man worship, lionizing this white man, Patrick, as if he's anti-white supremacy, some great guy, and they're doing it through their Negro vessel, who is Ketanji. She's the subject here, so therefore, I'm in it. I wouldn't care if it was Ketanji, somebody named April, Oprah, or any other black woman. This person is being used, you know, to promote the religion of white supremacy and deception to the black youth, particularly young girls, you know, with white man worship. And, you know, it's going to create more Negro bots who will be delusional. And they're trying to lionize this guy, Patrick, as if he's some anti-white supremacist, you know, type strong guy. Oh, he's different. Okay, so let's go.
You met him because he was a white student.
Yes.
Participating in taking down the Confederate flags.
And we were in a class together called The Changing Concept of Race in America.
Yes.
And we met each other, we were friends, we were friendly, we weren't dating or anything, but over time we really started to develop a friendship, and I started to like him, but I didn't tell anybody.
Well, there was always sort of, he's my friend, and
yes.
Your friends were like, what's going on with this?
Yes.
But then it gets very serious, and comes the moment to take you home.
Yes.
Now, he comes from a very privileged background,
yes.
It seems in the book.
Yes.
And you were worried about meeting his family for the first time.
Yes. I mean, I was just nervous about the whole scenario. My parents had grown up in the South, in segregation, and, you know, this was an interracial relationship, which was unusual.
Was much more so. An interracial relationship?
It was. And certainly one with someone who had such a different background than I did. It was sort of like hard to think about how this was going to happen. But I wanted my parents to trust me, and
I know, but your parents said, we trust you, we trust Patrick, but this is America.
That they did say that.
Dad said that.
My dad did say that, and eventually, you know, they realized that we were right for each other, that we shared a lot of the same values.
But this was the thing that got me with Patrick. You're getting ready to meet the family. You're not sure how it's going to go. And what did he say to you?
He said, he said a couple things, but at one point he said, I choose you, because I was worried that, you know, his grandmother had promised to pay for his medical school, and I was worried that it might mean that when she found out about me, she wouldn't do it. And he said, even if I have to take a job or do something else, I choose you.
I choose you. What did that mean to you?
Oh, it was really, it was pretty extraordinary.
Make this a summer to share in one of our capable SUVs. Visit your local Kia dealer.
Get 0.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of select new 2024 Sportage and 2024 Sorento models.
To all the comforters, we're here for you.
I choose you.
I choose you. What did that mean to you?
Oh, it was really, it was pretty extraordinary.
So old white Patrick from Boston, chose Ketanji over carrying the family torch of the religion of white supremacy. Whatever. Or did he? Whatever. Okay. One of those storylines that they know people love. You know, my family's from the South. You know, my family, my parents faced segregation. I'm a descendant of slaves. Patrick, white guy from Boston, so racist that his old granny seen Ketanji. They were afraid, you know, that she might say, oh no, I'm not paying for this anymore. Ketanji was kind of concerned because they know how racist Patrick's grandmother is. Rich, racist white woman. Patrick says, I choose you, okay? Like he's some kind of lying against the religion of white supremacy, you know, because he took a class at Harvard and he's at Harvard taking down racist posters. That's the whole storyline, people. Patrick said, I choose you. Then after that, we got a bunch of Negro bots and white supremacist liberals in comments saying dumb things like sniffles, eyes filled, look at God, and he shut up, whatever. So we got Boston Patrick here, okay? And people who follow this channel or both channels, you know how many videos I have on the city of Boston, possibly one of the most disgustingly racist cities in America. Disgusting, Boston. Now Patrick, he's rich. He's sixth generation Harvard graduate, okay? Sixth generation Harvard graduate. That's where he comes from. Ketanji, she's second generation in her family to go to any college, okay? So she comes from the lineage of Georgia slaves. So, no American progress. Ketanji's parents went to college, or at least one of them. Now Ketanji has advanced to where she's in a place where white men are, and she can marry a white man named Patrick, okay? So that's progress, right, y'all? Goals. Anyway, so Ketanji, after she finished law school at Harvard, Patrick, he graduated from Columbia University Medical School. They got married in the year 2017. Now this dude, Patrick, he's a gastrointestinal surgeon at MedStar, Georgetown University. People from Washington, D.C., you know where it is. And he's also a professor at Georgetown. These two have two daughters, Talia and Layla. They're like, I don't know, 20s, early 20s or whatever, something like that. So here's my thing with this whole Patrick story, whatever. You know, no props at all to Patrick. You know, he's doing what he's supposed to do as a white American man, where the road was paved and made easy for him to be very successful. He's from the sixth generation in his family to graduate from Harvard. Hardcore white supremacist family. That alone right there got them millions of dollars. I mean, listen, man, Patrick could have went through Harvard with a pamper and a helmet on, okay? He could have went through Harvard with a pamper on and a helmet. He would have gotten that degree from Harvard. It does not matter. He's sixth generation from Boston. White supremacist. This is this old school plantation type, okay? That's where he comes from. And I don't even know if this guy's a great surgeon at MedStar in Washington, D.C. Somebody get in the comments. Let me know if you had to, you know, get some stomach surgery or whatever from Patrick. I mean, I don't know. Patrick, you know, he might be one of them guys at the hospital not washing his hands and, you know, giving people antibiotic resistant infections. I don't know. I can't give Patrick credit, you know what I mean? He hasn't, you know, he walked right into everything, you know what I mean? But Ketanji, yeah, she had to work. Black woman from the South, she had to put in some real work, some real studying, you know, had to deal with a lot of white supremacists and racists, even from Patrick's family and stuff like that or whatever. You know, she had to go to Harvard and do her thing. You know, her family has no connection to Harvard besides maybe some relatives who might have been slaves there. I don't know, you know, but ain't no breaks, you know. So, you know, I give Ketanji the credit. Patrick, nah, he don't get it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, this guy, Patrick, he's also very connected to white people in the political field. He's an in-law relative of that guy, Paul Ryan, the white American Republican. This guy, Paul Ryan, who was running with Mitt Romney. Paul Ryan would have been his vice president had he won. You know, these people are connected, okay? You know, strong white supremacist backgrounds, politics, and stuff like that. So you know this dude, Patrick, white Patrick from Boston, they like to show him in the audience quite often when Ketanji's speaking, crying and sniffling and things like that to show white man sensitivity and humility. You know, so black, you know, Negro bots and other black white people can say, oh, look at him, look at this white man, you black guys, you guys are aggressive and this, look at him, he's whatever, man, shut up. You know, let's get to the bottom line here of why they had Ketanji on this show speaking and talking about her so-called fairy tale love life, you know, with a white American man, okay? So let me be the dream shatterer for any of you aspiring Negro Botmanis who were touched by that, okay? This is for the young ladies because that's what they put this out there for. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can be the next Ketanji. Do you see what Ketanji had to do and where she had to be to get her white man? Do you see what she is and what she had to be to get a white man who's actually probably washing up every now and then, and you know, comes from a family, has a job, actually succeeding and taking advantage of being white in America? Normal white man stuff. Do you see what she had to be? She had to be at Harvard. She had to put in the work, okay? Okay, so now she's at the pinnacle of the white American judiciary system. The pinnacle. She had to be at Harvard. Okay, you know how rare that is? So you got to go to Harvard or some Ivy League school, and maybe a Boston Patrick, you know, may not let his white supremacist cracker family interfere with you if he's liking you at the time. Maybe he'll stick around, but that's not usually how it is, okay? This story that they're pushing about this Ketanji and Patrick interracial stuff in America is not the reality. This is the reality here. These videos here, up and down this channel, the other channel, of black women who meet these white guys, okay? So it's not common, it's fairy tale, it's not even in the top 0.1% of what usually happens, okay? They're pushing this stuff on TV to get some more of you young black girls shredded up, okay? So you can watch this and become inspired while you do not know anything about race in America, okay? And what happens when you don't know about race in America? You end up like these ladies, getting tore up, okay? Go up and down both channels. That's what's really going on, okay? They don't understand race in America, and before they know it, they're talking to some white dude who hangs out at the gas station and says that he's registered with a temp agency and he's working. And then they'll say, oh, well, he's working. No, that ain't how it works for a white man. No. He's 33 years old, talking about he's registered with the temp agency and he worked. No, that's not how it works. 33-year-old white man, where everything was laid out for him to succeed and make it very easy for him in America. By 33, he should have a couple homes, you know, be sitting back, parents, money, whatever, living his life, you know, suburb, whatever, or even more, you know what I mean? Nah, but they don't understand that because their thing is, oh, all I seen was white, because they don't understand race in America, and these young black women end up getting put into pieces, separated in different parts of the cities, ran over by Chevy Tahoes and things like that by these white dudes, okay? Then they go on, when they figure out that these guys are dangerous or junkies, they go hiding them from everybody because they already went off on Facebook and social media and bragged about how love is love and they don't see color. Now they're embarrassed. And this is what happens. This whole little Ketanji situation, they telling you this ain't what it is, this ain't what happened. Anyway, people get in the comments, easy.
I want to thank my buddies.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this short, but this has been a very, very interesting view on the video. But this is for black men and black women that come across this channel. This is mainly for you, and really, this is the reality. What the woman said and what the men said in the other two videos is very, very true. And a good thing the other video popped up about the young man that got his parts spread out. Mostly probably did a video about the one content creators probably did that about Raheem Carter, that there are people still operating in America, and this is what he's saying. This is the reality, and the women that he was showing, the black men, women that he was showing with the men, they were unalive. They took them out. Literally took them out. They met up with them and they were gone. And like I say, like some people say, do what you want, but when you get to know a person, you gotta get to know, take time and get to know their character. And I mean, it can happen to men that look like some of us look like, but it's a different scenario. And if you find a good person that can look past that, you gotta go with the family of that young man. And when you're the only person in the room and they feel comfortable and with their views, you're going to see a real side of them. And they ain't not going to hide because they think you're one of them. But even if it comes to talk about people that look like you, people in your family. And let me tell you a short story before I go. You know, I've been talking about my friend John, right? John, my friend John, whose son is he's autistic, and it was a big case with that and everything. Well, yeah, and I probably told you that his wife didn't want to. She's been kind of going back and forth with them. We had a discussion this past week, and his wife didn't want to come up with him to go to, because he lives in Toledo, and she didn't want to go to Toledo because first it was because she didn't want to stay next to her relative, which is his sister. The second thing, the reason, well, really, and that was okay. Sometimes relatives don't see eye to eye. But when I tell you this, and you black, some of you gonna like, y'all gonna just like, what the heck? This is what she said. In the apartment, there are a lot of black people, but they work. This ain't, and I guess with based on past experience, you mean a certain demographic of people that we got a certain demographic in our community is kind of hood, and so she built up a prejudice, like what the dude, the second video said. I don't. That's to me black people up there, and he said, look, we're black. He said, yeah, we're black. She said, yeah, we're black, but we're not that kind of black. I'm like, what the hell? I told my sister that. My sister said, what the? She sounded like an Uncle Ruckus or something. I said, yeah. And I said, I was like, we're not that kind of black. That, again, it's funny what that guy said, because we sound like some white people that would say something. Oh, they're not that kind of black, we're not that kind of black. Not the ones you see on, on the news or anything. We're not that kind of black. It's like, that's something you probably hear them say among each other or some shit like that, trying to explain yeah, I got a black boyfriend, a black girlfriend. You got a black boyfriend? Oh, don't worry, they're not that kind of black. Anyway, yeah, she said that she said what? She said, I can't believe that. And my friend John told me that he first told her, she said, what you laughing at? He bust out laughing. Oh, he laughed so much, man. And we were laughing about that. And I'm like, man, I ain't never heard someone say some stuff like that. But it goes back with that guy. Some black people are slave minded, and what it is that even though some of us come from good neighborhoods, they was was raised up in a pretty decent neighborhood. It was predominantly white. So you get some black people that when they're around predominantly white, they take on some of their attributes, some of their spirit, because they get nervous around their own black people. These black people are like that. They don't, and when you're used to that, I don't know. It's crazy, because I've never, I explained how my background was. I was, when I was growing up, I was raised in the city, been to the suburbs, but one thing I never did was when I see somebody that I know from, I went to school in the city, was I never kind of blew them off just because. And you got some black people who do that. They're kind of like, they get around their white friends, whatever, and and they take on their mindset. But I never like that, and I've always had friends I've been a balanced dude. Like, I don't care if you're black or you're white. I'm still gonna be James. I may not use certain certain terms around it, but hey, that's how I was. I just never was. But I never. But you're not all the way hood, but you're not all the way Sambo and and Uncle Ruckus either, because yeah, you got some, just because they got their friends and they accepted among them, and I met a lot of people come across like that, but it was just funny though. But I just wanted to, bring some little humor after hearing all this, man. But yeah, she said that she didn't want to go to Toledo, and I mean, it's a good mixture of people up there, but she says a lot of black people. I don't want to be around all black people. I mean, she black, and and she said something, and I can't believe she said some stuff like that. And I say, you're gonna be in a decent neighborhood. It's not like not everybody gonna be up in your business or trying to start trouble with you or something like that. They probably keep to themselves. And then it's a different city. It's a different area, But even though I've had you come across some knuckle in among our people, but it don't penalize and like he was just like he's saying, don't penalize everybody, because you just never know. Then next you start taking on the same prejudice mindset as some of these other people think around you, and they ain't got no sense. So it's like, dang. So know that that's the moral of the story. But anyway, yeah. But to the women, to the men and women, black men, black women, you really need to think about this video and what you think, because what that woman said was powerful, and she's right. And what the man said, what that second man said was powerful, and he's right. We are slave-minded, and you have to change the way you think. And you don't even know it until someone like him reveal it to you. Think about it. You have to love yourself and be with one, and be sure and love yourself and love in order to love your people, to be one-on-one with your people. I'm just saying. But anyway, I hope you like this video. Like and subscribe. Till next time, you guys take care. Be blessed. And to other people, don't get offended. But this was particularly for people in the black community. So this video was to them. And the ones who understand it, they understand what I'm talking about. Take care. Be blessed.